Why does a vial of insulin, which costs between $5 to $10 to make, retail for $300 to $400 in the United States? Isn't it baffling? This situation is not just about insulin, but is indicative of a much broader problem: the high cost of prescription medicines in the U.S. Welcome, dear viewers, to the complex world of the American pharmaceutical industry. A world where cutting-edge medical breakthroughs and life-saving discoveries often come with a hefty price tag, paid largely by American citizens. Consider this staggering fact: Americans, on average, pay 4 times more for their prescription drugs than people in other countries. Quite shocking, isn't it? Does it mean that these medicines are 4 times more effective or superior in quality? Surprisingly, that's not the case. The behind these exorbitant prices is not the quality, but the absence of any effective regulation on what these pharmaceutical giants can charge for their products. When a novel and efficacious drug is created and approved by the FDA, it's like winning lottery for the manufacturer. Consider this story. A woman was on her deathbed. There was one drug that the doctor said would save her. It was a form of radium that a druggist in the same town had recently discovered. The drug was expensive to make, but the druggist was charging 10 times what the drug cost him to produce. He paid $200 for the radium and charged $2,000 for a small dose of the drug. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, went to everyone he knew to borrow the money, but he could only get together about $1,000, which is half of what it cost. He told the druggist that his wife was dying and asked him to sell it cheaper or let him pay later. But the druggist said, "No, I discovered the drug and I'm going to make money from it." So Heinz got desperate and broke into the man's laboratory to steal the drug for his wife. This is an all too common situation. Pharmacies are the druggist of the story, with no regulation, no competition, just a free rein on pricing. But it doesn't have to be this way. Imagine a different scenario, one that takes place in a nation renowned its discipline and structure: Japan. A country where the process is streamlined, and it's not just a matter of giving the pharmaceutical companies carte blanche to dictate prices. Contrary to what might be considered the norm in other parts of the world, the Japanese government officials take it upon themselves to hold regular discussions with these pharmaceutical behemoths. It's not a simple meet-and-greet session, but a negotiation of the price tags of medications before they are even allowed to pass the Japanese borders and penetrate their market. This strategic and proactive approach is a thoughtful way of ensuring that the cost of these crucial life-saving drugs remains within reach for their citizens. It's about making medicine affordable, not a luxury, and this is where Japan sets an example worth following. And it doesn't end there. Other countries, too, take a novel approach in dealing with this issue. They employ a median pricing system, which involves paying an average price for each drug. The price is calculated based on what other nations are shelling out for the same medications. This innovative approach brings not just fairness, but also a level of transparency to a market that often seems unregulated and chaotic. Thus, by employing these methods, governments can help to bring about a much-needed change in the way drug prices are established. It's time to ask ourselves, should the health of a nation be compromised for profit? This approach brings a level of fairness and transparency to a market that can otherwise seem like a free-for-all. In the United States, however, the pharmaceutical industry enjoys a level of influence that can often sway political decisions. This influence is not based on mere opinion or bias, but a strategic manipulation of the political landscape through significant financial contributions. These contributions are engineered to ensure the survival and prosperity of the pharmaceutical industry by directly dictating the actions of those individuals in positions of power. This elaborate system of influence does not operate in isolation. It is interwoven with the economic structure of the nation. With substantial campaign contributions, pharmaceutical companies are able to encourage politicians to lean in their favor, shaping legislation and policies that directly affect the pricing of drugs. This system of lobbying is not a new phenomenon, but it has taken on an increasing level of criticality in recent years as the price of medications continues to escalate, creating an ever-widening gap between affordable healthcare and the American people. Lobbying efforts are sophisticated, well-orchestrated campaigns designed to appeal to the interests of politicians. They are designed not only to influence voting patterns, but also to shape public opinion. These efforts subtly manipulate the political landscape, perpetuating a cycle of high drug prices that continues to plague the American healthcare system. However, this narrative isn't just about the exchange of money or the economic implications of high drug prices. It's about something far more significant, something fundamentally human. It's about the quality of life. It's about the ability to live without the constant worry of whether one can afford necessary medications. It's about the health and well-being of the American people. Senator Bernie Sanders, appointed by President Biden, is earnestly engaging in a comprehensive investigation into the concerning issue of pharmaceutical price gouging and the unfortunate monopolization of the medication industry. This significant endeavor represents a pivotal stride towards ameliorating the current state. But let's not be fooled. This is only the first step in a long journey of reform. So, you might be wondering, how can you, as an individual, contribute to this cause? Well, for young Americans whose parents or grandparents probably take some form of medication at this time, it can affect families financially and physically. Your parents may have to make a decision to buy their medications at such a high price or pay for food or rent. New medications usually have a cost of ranging from $3,000 to $5,000 on average per month. Some young adults have to get jobs and bypass college so they can work and help their families pay for these new medications. This may as well affect you in the future as an adult. Start by offering your support to measures that aim to regulate the absurdly high drug prices. Use your voice to advocate for pricing that is not just fair, but also reasonable and for all. Don't be hesitant to stand up for your inherent right to affordable health care. Fight for your health, for your well-being, for your future. After all, don't we, the American people, deserve an opportunity to live healthier, more fulfilled lives without being constantly burdened by the exorbitant cost of necessary medication? It's high time we transform our passive acceptance into active resistance. It's time to ensure that the American pharmaceutical industry, which has arguably become a behemoth of intentions, starts working for the welfare of the people and not against them. It's time for us to create an impactful change, a change that ensures our future generations won't have to bear the brunt of a system that seems to care more for profits than people. And this change, this revolution that we so desperately need, begins with you. It's time to make a change, and that change starts with you.